ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम, salutations to all. So 16th chapter we are seeing. The chapter is called Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Sampat here does not mean wealth, sampatti. Pad padyate means to obtain. So we obtain through our efforts, choices, divine qualities or demonic qualities. Daiva, Asura. And Bhagavan actually starts by enlisting the divine qualities. We saw the background is there in the 9th chapter where the Rakshasi Asuri Prakriti is been explained, and then the Daivi Prakriti, Mahatmanastu Mam Patha Daivim Prakriti Mashritaha, those verses are there. So it's an elaboration of those two verses of the 9th chapter. And so he starts by enumerating the qualities which are the divine. 26 qualities are here. Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhihi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, Dhanam, Damascha Yajnascha, Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam. First verse has 9 qualities. Abhayam, we saw last time about that, fearlessness. To achieve anything in life, fearlessness is required. Risk has to be taken. Many times we live in our own comfort zone only, and we don't want to break out of it. And there are fears, all different types of fears the human mind has. Biological fear, emotional fear, intellectual fear, spiritual fear, financial fear, social fear, all different types of fears. Each fear limits us, inhibits us, and when decisions are taken out of fear, may not be right, may be impulsive, may be taken out of a disturbed mind. So important it is to get out of fear, to live a happy life, fearless life. And fear also is something that is a product of attachment. Somewhere or the other there will be some attachment. That's why in the Gita, attachment is called as the cause for fear as well as anger. The expression in the Gita is Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Raga is attachment. One who has overcome attachment will overcome Bhaya and Krodha also. We are attached to what we don't, we are attached to what we have, people whom we love, and we don't want to lose them. So there is a fear of loss. And then there is the attachment is to what I want, which I did not get yet. So if anything comes between me and my object of desire, anger will arise. So attachment is the cause of fear. Ignorance is the cause of fear. Attachment is a cause of fear. Negative imagination is cause of fear. Not doing one's duty and doing something prohibited is the cause of fear. So many of these causes are there. One has to overcome attachment. So here when he says the divine quality is fearlessness, why it is called divine quality? Because that person is walking the path of dharma. If a person is walking the path of adharma, fear will be there. May not express, may not be evident to people, but it will be there. Duryodhan had such a huge army, still he was scared. Pandavas had much lesser army. But their sides are, one is supporting adharma, one is anchored in dharma. So, fear always will be there when there is something wrong which has been done. Because one knows, conscience is there, one knows, one may try to escape from it. So, for a spiritual person, if one finds there is some fear, that means there is an attachment somewhere. And that attachment will lead to sorrow. And we want to walk the path of happiness, we want happiness in life. So if I want happiness, I have to become fearless. Root cause, as we saw last time, is ignorance. I don't know. Then there will be that my mind projects, what if this happens, what if that happens, and then the mind wants to escape from it. Then one says, no, I can't handle it. One has to remove that. I don't know. That simple examples we gave that time. But if you go deeper into it, spiritual life also, ignorance of the self creates body identification, jiva bhava, and the moment I think I am this body, I am the jiva, then pleasure of this body is my pleasure. Now I am attached to things, I am attached to people, now I am attached to various, anything, name, fame, power, position, then there will be fear. So if I want to walk the path of divinity, I have to walk the path of dharma. I have to walk the path of detachment, walk the path of trying to realize the absolute self. Then fearlessness is a very important tool, very important quality. And a person's mind is free when there is fearlessness. So abhayam, to youngsters when we do a camp, we tell them, do you want to know a mantra how to get out of fear? Yes, we want to know. I say, okay, sit quietly. Take a deep breath and repeat this mantra. Om Karejaya Namaha. Karejaya Namaha. Means what? Have courage to face the challenges which come. Don't run from them. Karejaya Namaha. And also Karejaya Namaha in Hindi, if you say Kareja, meaning keep doing. Practice also helps us to overcome fear. Some of the fears will go by practice. Suppose I have fear of water. 20 times I jump in water and I learn to swim. I will overcome that fear. Fear of public speaking. Go and speak. Fire off. Prepare nicely and fire off. No, what if some mistake happened? The prarabdha of the audience. You go and speak. The point is practice. The more I run away from it, more there will be fear build up. More I face it, practice it, overcome it. So certain things have to be thought through, certain things have to be practiced, certain attitudes have to change, of detachment have to come. So that way, abhayam. In the 13th chapter, the first quality given is amanitvam. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, all that was said. Here it is abhayam. Humility and fearlessness go together. Why? Because humility means a person doesn't have ego. Or you can say minimized ego. That person is strong, no attachment. Focuses on the cause, being objective. So will be fearless. You see Hanumanji, absolutely strong, courageous, mighty, yet and fearless and absolutely humble. Many examples one can see like that. People who are strong, mighty, fearless, very humble. So this fearlessness does not mean that one is reckless and one is bossing over somebody. I am fearless, nobody can control me, I dominate over everybody. It is not like that. Fearlessness and humility will go together. So abhayam. Second quality Bhagavan says sattva samshuddhi. So sattva here means mind. Sattva here does not mean only guna. You can say guna also if you want to, because sattva guna is a guna of purity. But sattva samshuddhi here means purity of the mind. In the Chandogya Upanishad also it comes ahara sattva, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. If you purify the food, the mind will be purified. Sattva shuddhi, there sattva means mind. Same here, sattva is mind here. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. So purify the mind. Meaning 6 enemies, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Out of that, the kama is the first one which is expressing as the other 5. So purify the mind, make it nishkama. More selfless one becomes, more divine one will be, more happier one will be. Purity of mind comes through seva bhav, it comes through sadhana, through chanting Bhagwan's name, surrendering to the divine, so many methods. Meditation. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi also can mean that increase sattva guna. So try to anchor in sattva guna and not operate out of rajas and tamas. Meaning the binding aspects of rajas and tamas, attachment and ignorance, laziness, procrastination. Act promptly, efficiently, objectively, detached way, anchored in knowledge. That. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. In any situation one can ask oneself, how will a seeker respond here? My ego may say, suppose I want to keep up till late night and binge watch some series. My mind should ask, will a seeker do this? No. Sleep early, get up early is seeker's attitude. You can watch in the day or find some time when you are free or weekend, watch. Then I am operating out of sattva guna, sattva samshuddhi. Not allowing the attachment and that impulsiveness to overpower me. No. You can apply this in everything. In the food choices, in the things that I see, in the people I interact with, in the work that I do, in the places that I visit. Everywhere, wherever I can choose sattva guna, then I should operate from sattva guna. The more I operate from sattva guna, the mind will be purified. So abhayam sattva samshuddhi, jnana yoga vyavasthiti. The abidance in knowledge. General meaning is jnana yoga vyavasthiti is to apply what we are convinced of, to live by my intellectual conviction. What I know and how I live, gap should not be there. I know that I should be loving, but I am very, selfish in my living. Then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti is not there. Suppose we say here, ki I should act out of Sattva Guna. I know. But wantedly I am letting my mind get carried away by Rajas and Tamas. Then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti is not there. See, Sattva Samshuddhi is a very important point also, because in spiritual sadhana, in spiritual life, in fact in daily life, in life itself, progress is measured by the Sattva Samshuddhi. Not by how much intellectual information I have, how many theories I can quote and what I can refute and how much I can debate and argue and how many institutions I can create and how many people I can employ. Those have their own importance in some ways, but the purpose of life, as per the Shastra here, is having got a human birth, realize the truth. And for that, purity of mind is very important. So, Sattva Samshuddhi, how pure my mind is, meaning what are the ways to understand it? The pure mind will be a free mind, detached mind, happy mind, accepting mind, equanimous mind. And that pure mind will be able to go deep in sadhana also, will anchor within. Outside validation, approval, praise is not even required. What Bhajagovindam says, na? Shankaracharya says there, Yoga Ratova, Bhoga Ratova, Sangha Ratova, Sangha Vihina. Whether one is in yoga, one is in bhoga, one is in sangha, with people, without people. Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam, whose mind revels in Brahman, Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva. That person revels in joy. That's of course highest state of realization, but the path also is to that, is through this only. Purity of mind. Mirabai did not have some big intellectual accomplishments, but pure heart surrender to Bhagavan. That's all. Surdas ji, surrender to Bhagavan. Nothing wrong with learning Shastra, Veda, etc. Tulsidas ji is very, very knowledgeable and yet surrender to Bhagavan fully. So one may gain the knowledge, one may have a lot of intellectual qualities, accomplishments, but one should not ignore purity of heart. That is most important. So Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. What I know and how I live and how I act, that has to be in line, alignment. Mind-body alignment we call. So what I am convinced of, I should ask myself. If I am convinced of something, I have to persuade my mind to live that. No, Swamiji, what happens if we don't live like that? That is where the problem is. That is called viyoga, disintegration. I know what is right, but I do something wrong. That is what Arjun is also asking in 3rd chapter, and that is what Duryodhana also asked. Not asked, he said, Janami dharmam nachame pravritti, janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what is dharma, I can't live it. I know what is adharma, I can't follow it. Sorry, I know what is adharma, but I can't stop it. Why? Because mind is not in his control. Why? Because he's trained the mind like that, to follow all the lower impulses. We know so many things, but we don't apply. That is disintegration. So then the split personality happens. Lot of energy is wasted. One part of the intellect will go on criticizing, saying, what a weak fellow you are. You know this is wrong, why are you doing it? You know this is right, you are still not doing it. And you want to achieve big things. You are talking big things. Where will you achieve? What a weakling you are. So there will be one negative self-talk, one critic who is going on pulling us down. Because we compromise. So willpower will reduce, confidence will go down, insecurity will increase, looking at somebody one will start feeling jealous, all these negativities will come. Again I am saying, one may or may not pay attention to it, one may be just lost in so many other things. But when one lives in alignment, what I know, I live by that conviction. And of course that conviction has to be dharmic. We are not saying some adharmic conviction and you live by it. Swamiji, I am convinced this fellow deserves a slap. Go and give him one. Say I lived by this. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. I am not saying that. The values, dharma, spiritual ideals, even some of the fundamental things. For the body, we know what is good for the body and not only for the tongue. But we don't give what is good for the body, we go by the tongue pleasure. Now disintegration happened. Then health suffers. Then one is wondering, what wrong did I do? What wrong did you do? One mistake was this. Even after that something happened, that's a different point. But after following everything also, that is samsara is like that. But the point is, in day-to-day choices, we know anger is going to harm us first, but still we get angry. We know that if some hurt is there, we should heal ourselves as well as we should forgive, but we won't forgive. Hold the grudge, suffer. Why? not having that persuasive capability, not pushing the mind to go and apply what one knows. So one should identify what are my convictions, am I living up to them? A simple exercise one can do. What are my top 3 convictions in my life? That I live this uncompromisingly. That is Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. And what are the 3 areas where I am compromising, where I know this is right but I am not doing it? Note that down. Then identify why am I able to follow in the other 3, why am I not able to follow in these 3? And the answer will be attachment. Some attachment will be there. Attachment is intellectual also, attachment is emotional also, attachment is physical also. Some things our body has got used to it. We want that particular feeling, some dopamine rush, hormone rush. We got addicted to it. Somewhere it is emotional attachment, somewhere intellectual attachment, somewhere attachment only will be the cause. Bhagwan answered the same thing to Arjun in 3rd chapter. All of you who have studied, you know that. When Arjun asked, what is that that pushes a man to commit sin, though he knows that it is wrong. Anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. That he is unwilling, but athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha. Prompted by what does a man commit sin? Anichannapi is not in, doesn't want it, but helplessly commits. Gurudev used to give an example, that the alcoholic is every evening helplessly as though pulled by the bottle. A bottle is not pulling everybody, but this fellow is getting pulled and going because he has the vasana. So there will be some attachment. So Bhagwan asked, when Bhagwan was asked that question, he answered, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava. It is kama and krodha. Anger and desire and anger, born out of what? Rajoguna, with attachment. So Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti means I should live by my conviction. If I am convinced that I should get up and do exercise at least 5 times in the week, I must go and do it. Then willpower is built. Then a healthy self-esteem is built. Then one has mastered the mind. Then when you tell the mind sit and do contemplation, it will contemplate. All this is meant for that, to realize the truth. Otherwise, I tell the mind to contemplate and start Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, then the mind will go somewhere else only. Why? Because it doesn't have that training. It does what it has to do. If you say, okay, now the next 30 minutes I am only a seeker, no other thoughts, only contemplate, it will obey. Why? Because that's how one has trained it. So, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, one should identify and then eliminate that cause of attachment which is making me compromise. If I love my goal more than my attachment, then I will overcome this. In this example, suppose we say, if I love fitness, I love health, I love that state of mind where I have done what I had to do. So there is no regret, there is no guilt, nothing. If I love that state of mind more than the attachment I have for sleep or laziness, then I will get up and go and do exercise. But if I don't have that, then I will justify this laziness. Then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti won't happen. So, Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. And if you attach an emotional reason to that, why do you want to be fit? Then more easy it will become to detach from the other attachments. I want to be fit because with that I want to meditate, or I want to achieve this success, or I want to make this person happy, or I want to lose weight, whatever it may be. If an emotional charge is associated and I value that, along with the intellectual benefits of exercise and whatever I know, emotionally also I value then I will get out of this attachment. So one has to find out what will help me to apply what I know is my intellectual conviction and my emotional feeling about that conviction. Gurudev felt that he has to bring this knowledge to the masses. Very convinced. Tapan Maharaj said, don't go down, people who want will come up. At that time he didn't argue. But after that he went back. He said, the urge is irresistible. I have to go. Please give me permission. He went. How many oppositions, how much people did not support him, they cursed him, they did not give him a venue to do the talks, nothing bothered him. Why? A man of his convictions. Came down to give knowledge. Selfless. Has nothing for himself. Doesn't want anything for himself. Wants to revive Sanatan Dharma. Wants to serve the country. Wants to better the lives of people. Bas. Full life dedicated for that. 42 years. Why? Bhav. And no compromise in convictions. That is strong mind. So Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Just imagine, these are such powerful qualities. We can apply this everywhere. At work front also, in family, in personal life, for health, for spiritual sadhana, everywhere these values can be applied. And not having these values is what is the cause of sorrow. People talk one thing, behave in some other way. How do you build trust? You can't build trust. How will somebody be dependable if they don't have this alignment of thought, word and deed? Promise something to the customer but they don't deliver only. How will they build reputation, goodwill? So can apply in many of this. Integrity is what they call nowadays in corporate world, integrity. Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Danam. Be generous. Danam is our duty. It is not optional. People think it is optional. It is not optional. And Dahan doesn't mean only money. Dahan has everything. But money also is a part of Dahan. People get away saying, it doesn't mean only money, so I gave a smile today. Oh, very good. You give what has to be given. As per your capability. Nobody is forcing, pushing, but give. Why? Because that habit is very important. And what we give only we will get back. Karma is like that. The more we try to grip and hold, we will lose. One man, he was dying. So, just before he died, he wrote for his sons something. And then he died. What he wrote? What I have, I lost. What I gave, I have. And what I donated, got back in multiples. Think about that. What I gave, what I have, I lost. Meaning he kept only with him money. He didn't give, didn't invest it, didn't give to anybody else. अपने पास रखा. What I have, I lost. Now he is going to die. He is not going to carry it with him. What I gave, I have. Meaning what? He exchanged it. Currency badal gaya. How? He got punya. That punya he will carry with him. So whatever he gave to people, he got. Punya also he got. Whatever is the, transactional value of whatever he gave, that also he got. So what he gave, he got. What he has, he lost. And what he gave in charity, that has come back multiplied. Why? Because anything given in a noble cause, it will maximize your punya. And specifically specific times like eclipse time, festival time, important days, dan done in those times, in those places. Suppose you go to Tirthasthan and some important sacred places, all this. Dan you do there. Desha, Kala, Patra. In the 17th chapter it will come. Desha, Kala, Patra. All the three are very important in Dan. In which place you are giving Dan. The significance of that place also is important. Doesn't mean only in those places we should give and nowhere else. Those places also you give, other places also you give, depending on whatever your capability and shraddha. But place has mahatva, desha. Kala, which time are you giving dan? Not only muhurt wise, but like I said, festival days, important days, eclipse days. Maximize dan, punya is so much more. The punya of dan is so much more. As somebody is very needy, they need and their cause is important and you support them. At that time they needed it, you supported. That is a good time. So desha, kala and patra, we have to identify who is the right patra. We cannot just say, "Aamne to daan de diya, humko kya?" No. Nowadays people are doing that. Government is also doing that. CSR, you have to do due diligence, find out whether this money is being utilized properly or not. Then only you have to give the money there. All written in the Shastra, saying that if you give to apatra, you will get the negative karma of that. Apatrebhyascha diyate, it will come 17th chapter. You are giving it to somebody who is not only not deserving, giving to somebody who is using it for destructive purposes. Then that karma will come to you. But I started saying by saying that daan is not optional, daan is an obligatory duty. Why? Because we are getting so much benefit from the whole society. What did we give back? And it can't happen that after I finish accumulating lots of wealth, finally I will start giving. It has to happen simultaneous. Because who knows till when one is going to live, number one. Anytime death will come. Number two, I am getting continuously from the society. It's not that at one point society is going to give at that time only. No, it is giving me continuously. I have to give back continuously. The lane then has to happen continuous. And very important, third, when we do daan, it also is a training in our mind to give, because otherwise death will take away everything at one shot. At that time mind will not be able to handle it. Give and find joy in giving. मर मर के क्यों देना है, रो रो के, अच्छा देना पड़ रहा है इसलिए दे रहे हैं, मत दो. Give out of joy. Identify the cause where they are going to use it and give up possessiveness. Mainly daan is to drop possessiveness, to develop a generous character, to help somebody, to support a noble cause. Daan is meant for that. Otherwise what will we carry with us? Nothing, only punya, only dharma. So daan, very important. One nice Subhashita says, Danena panir natu kankanena. The beauty of the hands is not the bangles that one is wearing, bracelet that one is wearing. Beauty of the hands is in giving. Another one says that the ocean which collects water is remaining on the ground only. The clouds which shower rains, they are high in the sky. Gauravam prapyate danat natu vittasya sanchayat. Honor one attains by doing daan, not by simply accumulating. Natu vittasya sanchayat. And there only this analogy comes. In that Subhashita second line, the analogy is, look at the ocean. It goes on collecting all water. It remains on the ground only. But the clouds rise high in the sky. And they go far and then they rain. And they provide so much of relief to so many people. Now don't say, Swamiji, those clouds are able to do that because of the ocean only. It's a that's a vicious circle, which we came first. There's a limitation of example also. So the point is that dan is not optional. In the 18th chapter you will see, Bhagavan will say, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma, na tyajyam karyam eva tat. Yajna, Dana and Tapa has to be done. Nobody can renounce it. Nobody can leave it. Three things one has to do as obligatory duty Sanatana Dharma. What? Yajna, Dana and Tapa. Yajna means work selflessly. That will come next. Dan is be generous and give. And Tapa, live in austerity. Don't make pleasure the goal of life. One part of life, that's all. Live in austerity. Tyag, tapasya, seva, sadhana. Life is meant for that. Not go on indulging and enjoying. What? It will only drain the body and mind. Beyond that, nothing it will do. When one is child, one plays with the toys. So play with the toys in the world for some time. But at one point, one has to say, I outgrow this. What is there here? How much can I keep running behind food and drink and enjoyment and movie and this and that? Beyond that, after a point, it will become hollow, empty. One's energy only is drained, resources are drained. Some entertainment is there, that's okay. Beyond that, nothing. So live in austerity. Yajna, Dana, Tapa. He says, Karyam eva tat. They have to be done, they are obligatory. Karyam means obligatory duty. It's not optional. And twice he says that. Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma, na tyajyam. Don't give it up. Karyam eva has to be done. So Dan, whatever I am very attached to, that Dan I should learn to do first. Swami, one common line in all this is attachment. Yes, fear is out of attachment. Impurity of the mind because of attachment. Then this not being able to live up to my intellectual conviction because of my attachment. Dana is also for getting out of attachment. How much attachment one has? My, me and mine. Oh. Good clothes one is not able to do dan. Fata, Purana, which I cannot use, that I will go and do dan. Look at that. Do dan. If you are buying a new pair of clothes once in a year, buy on your birthday, do some dan, make somebody else's life happy, give them a new pair of clothes. Why Fata Purana only? But no. Which I can't use or I have outgrown it, de do. Technically that is not really dan because it's no use to you, so now you are just disposing it off. Dan is done with a bhav. Let somebody's life benefit. This is the best I can do. I am only an instrument, Bhagavan is the giver. Like that, with that bhav one is giving. And I have no attachment to this, so I am giving. Whatever I am attached to, if I am attached to knowledge and I don't part with knowledge and I want to keep knowledge secret, give knowledge to people. If I am attached to money, I am attached to, any like time. I have no time for anybody else. Then take out time, spend with people. So many attachments can be there. Different things one is attached to. Specifically one is attached to certain items. Without this I can't live. I'll give dan. See how you can live without it. So dan is to get out of that possessiveness and the attitude of giving. The more we learn this attitude of giving, like how Gurudev taught us, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. What a beautiful line that is. Produce more than what you consume, give more than what you take. Simple. Then one will always be in the mode of giving. This, who comes in the mode of giving, that person comes in the mode of happiness. Not that the person will never receive after that. Even in receiving we give happiness to people. That ego should not be like, हम तो सिर्फ देते हैं, हमारा हाथ हमेशा ऐसा ही होता है, हम ऐसा नहीं करते. That is all ego. ऐसा करने में भी you give happiness to other people. Get somebody is giving something, you take. Thank them. They are happy that you took. You feel happy about it. They feel happy about it. So the point is what? That when one is giving, in that giving mode, there is joy. If I am not in giving mode, one will start writing. I didn't get this, I didn't get that, life is unfair, life is like this, life is like that. I am going on waiting to receive, waiting to receive. And then I want to receive in a particular way only. So I can't receive what somebody is giving me in their way. People are being loving to me, kind to me, compassionate to me in their own way nicely. But now I want only some praise through words. Now if that is not coming, no, they don't love me. Arey, but they are doing things for you, they are bringing things for you, they are spending time with you, they are doing everything else. Just that they didn't understand what you want in your way, but they are giving you in so many ways. But no, one has made one list, mujhe nahi mila, I am a victim. If you read Gurudev's book, no, I Love You, such a nice book. He wrote those letters to children, but such depth about love. If that much one lives in life, no, life is fulfilled. The relationships are going to be harmonious. If that book, one small book, one can read this much thing only, it is very, very thin, small book, I Love You letters. Brilliant letters. In that he says this, everybody is waiting for love. Nobody is giving love. How will that demand be fulfilled? So dhan is to come in the mode of giving and to be humble also. When one does dhan, it is not that I am giving, Arey, Bhagwan is the real giver. If Bhagwan chose to give through me, I am very humbled, that's all. And feel the joy of giving. Offer it to Bhagwan, that's it. So dhanam, then dhamma. Dhamma is sense control. Again, very important, if I don't have sense control, anything the mind will do for satisfying the senses. Just imagine what all people do. Just for Indriya Bhoga. 2 inches of tongue, this much only it is, tongue. Before that, below that, there is no taste. But to satisfy that 2 inches of tongue, my goodness, what all goes on in the world. What level of violence and how many animals, birds, and nothing they are leaving, insects, सब कुछ काट फूट के खा रहे हैं वो लोग, बाप रे बाप. For what? Just this much tongue. Why? No need of sense control. Eat, drink, enjoy, that's the purpose of life. Then one will be like that. Sense control is important. Forget spiritual heights of success, realization. Even to achieve success in the day-to-day world, one needs to have some amount of sense control. Why? If I don't have control on the senses, I can't focus the mind. Whether it is sports, whether it is academics, whether it is anything else I want to achieve, I need sense control. We go to extremes, either full, engaging in sense objects or complete denial. So we think there are only two. There is a path of moderation also, where you engage in dharmic pleasures with sense control and no need to suppress, no need to surrender to the senses, sublimate, that's all. Engage in sense enjoyments which are dharmic, which are in control, and which don't make me a victim. I enjoy it, it doesn't enjoy me. Gurudev always said, eat your food, let not the food eat you. Drink your drink, let not the drink drink you. Meaning enjoy as a master, not as a victim. If I am enjoying as a victim, then useless that is. Animal is also more in control because nature is controlling the indulgence of animal. At certain time only the animal will go and eat something or mate or do anything. A human being, kabhi bhi kuch bhi. And think I am the roof and crown of creation. I have such choice, free will. The more one engages the senses in a controlled way, the more ability to enjoy also increases. That's the beauty of it. Control doesn't mean suppressing. Suppose I eat one sweet and I stop. I chew it nicely, I taste it, I enjoy it, nicely done. Then my capacity to enjoy sweet will be long term. Versus if I go on hogging sweets after sweets after sweet, in a few years I say, oh, diabetes ho gaya, ab nahi kha sakte. Now imagine, what would have control done? Control would have enhanced the ability to enjoy life for longer period also. Plus I would have had mind mastery, plus good health, quality of life also increases, ability to enjoy also increases, mind mastery also increases, confidence also increases. There's a win-win situation, sense control. Opposed to that, I don't have sense control, I do whatever my senses say. I'm a victim of my senses, health will spoil, mind mastery has not happened, mind will say, why did you do this? But I don't have control. So control is very important, sense management. And the best example for that is tortoise, second chapter of the Gita. Tortoise will engage all the 5 limbs, 4 legs, 1 head, 5 and 1 tail, 6 limbs. Engage, walk gently, withdraw when any danger is there. Seeker has to learn that ability, engage in the senses, withdraw from the senses when needed. Senses should never control our mind. They are the grossest. Subtler than the senses are the prana. Subtler than prana is the mind. Subtler than the mind is the buddhi. Subtler than the buddhi is our atma. Anchoring in the subtler, the grosser can be controlled. So when a person is having an inspiring goal to work upon, suppose somebody has some, let us say, important exam to clear or some project which has to be done within a certain timeline, then one is able to say, okay, even if T20 World Cup is going on, I am not going to watch, or I'll watch 5 minutes and again I'll be back to my work. That is sense control. Why? Because I have a higher thing to hold on to. So what is that higher in my life? I have to identify. So Dhamma, you think about it, when Dhamma is not there, if pleasure becomes the goal of life, then Dharma one will not follow. So many things that the Devatas go through, or even Asuras go through, is one of the reasons will be that sense control will not be there. Then pleasure has become the goal, then they fall. So important it is. Dhanam, Dhamma, then Yajna. What is Yajna? Literally Yajna is a fire ritual also, and that is also important. Because in that we are offering our ahutis for the devatas who are taking care of the srishti. So we offer our havan samagri, and when we say this is Indraya Swaha Idam Namama, Varunaya Swaha Idam Namama, Prajapataye Swaha Idam Namama, then Agni will carry that ahutis to Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Prajapati. To all these are the phenomenal forces taking care of creation because of whom we are alive. Today we have forgotten all that. And then hue and cry people are raising about ecology, environment, sustainability, carbon footprint. Karte jao. When we were doing Havan, they are saying this is polluting environment, this, that. What a polluting environment. You have no idea what the Havan is. At NBRI Lucknow, National Botanical Research Institute of India, they have done the research. Is a lakda that is used specifically, that the wood of the mango tree, ashwatha tree, people tree, all that, and particular havan samagri, how it is used, ghee that is offered. When all that is done, so many antimicrobial properties are observed in that area for not only that time, for days together. How many pathogens get killed, destroyed, viruses, bacteria, so many things get destroyed which are there in the environment. So Havan has its own importance. Today we are doing, we have reduced that. But in other ways, Yajna doesn't mean only this fire ritual. We saw in 4th chapter 12 types of Yajnas: Indriya Sanyam Yajna, Ahara Yajna, Swadhyaya Yajna, Brahma Yajna. So many we saw. Meaning how to master this body, mind, intellect. And we also saw yajna means coming together in the 3rd chapter for a selfless cause, coming together, working shoulder to shoulder, syncing our differences, and when the result comes, benefit is for everybody. That is yajna bhav, feeling of selflessness, working together, giving one's best. Nobody is asking what did I get out of it. That feeling has to go. Yajna purpose is that. How did I benefit out? That I only has to dissolve. Then a person becomes divine. These are divine qualities. Each of these qualities helps me to reduce the ego, helps me to become more positive, helps me to be more detached, more anchored within. That's why they are divine qualities. Abhayam, Sattva, Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga, Vyavasthiti, Dhanam, Dhamascha, Yajnascha. So I should identify what is a cause which I can, and it doesn't have to be only extra, if one has an extra cause and time to spare to go and support and serve in that cause, very good. It will help a lot. But for any reason, suppose that is not there. I am busy with my family work and professional work and social commitments and there is no time. Then what I am doing, that itself can be done with Yajna Bhavana, because Yajna is Vishnu. Yajna by Vishnu it is said. So if I say that Bhagavan has put me here and this I am doing it as my offering to Vishnu Bhagavan, that becomes Yajna. It can be work in the family, it can be just simple, you have gone to the market to buy some vegetables and you came. That can be a Yajna. If I am eating food, food becomes a Yajna, Ahara Yajna. With the bhav that this is offered to Bhagavan who is Vaishwanar Agni, offered. Then food has become Yajna, eating. So, every act, professionally, suppose I say I am doing this for the company or this is dedicated to my country, this will help my country in this way. So, salary will come, praise will come, whatever will come, that will come, but I am not working for that. I am working for the purpose, the cause. And in that, I is small, cause is big. Then that is called Yajna Bhavana. Sometimes one uses the cause for ego boosting, then that's not called Yajna Bhavana. Even spiritual life, one comes, does sadhana, one does some seva, and then one wants praise, one says, see, I did so much. Then where is where purification happened? It didn't happen. So yajna is a feeling. The bhav of dedicating this to Bhagavan. Bhav of dropping ego. Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam. Ramana Maharshi said beautifully. Essence of Karma Yoga is that one line. Ishwararpitam na ichchaya kritam. I am doing it for Bhagavan and not for my ego boosting. Now if somebody comes to serve with that attitude, one will be able to serve because one understands I need this to serve. This service will purify my mind. Otherwise one comes to serve, then one says okay, work has to be done. Sometimes it is not enough, people are not there, so more work comes on a person who is volunteering. And sometimes people also obviously are not tuned up. So there will be some miscommunication or some laziness or slack from some other side. So more work this person has to do. After some time politely that person will say, I have a lot of work to do this year. My commitments are more at professional level, family level. So can you please excuse me? I won't be in the committee. But anytime any work is there, you tell me, I will be available. I'll just do it. Why? One of the reasons will be this. What is the meaning of Yajna Bhavana? People will have differences between each other because people are not going to be working, everybody agreeing with each other. Everybody may not be as efficient as one may expect them to be. But we still have to work together because the cause is important and because I know that purification of my mind has to happen. So I am serving. I am not serving to as a obligation or favor to anybody. I am not doing any favor to anybody by serving. I am purifying my mind by serving. Then I will humbly come and serve. If people are there also I will serve. If people are not there also I will serve. To my capacity what I can do I will do. That is important. Because why did we come here for? In Yajna Bhavana. Why did Gurudev establish the mission? And he trained people to work together, to come together in spite of differences and work is called Yajna Bhav. When differences are there between people to not work, ordinarily that is anyway happening because we are acting out of Dvesha and Raga. I am attached to few people, so I love working. Why? Because this is our group, Swamiji. We have formed a nice group. And then somebody is there who I can't gel well with and I don't want to work with. Now I have aversion again. I don't want to work. So if my group has not formed and I am seeing people, maja nahi aa raha hai, then that behavior is out of raga and dvesha. It's not out of purification of mind. So one has to identify what is my attitude in seva. How did seva purify me? How much did it push me out of my comfort zone? How much did I do it with the sincere bhav? This is for Bhagavan. And yes, sometimes I may lose my, some disturbance comes in the mind, peace of mind may go, and sometimes one may even speak something little irritated or angry. Those are things to evolve and correct oneself and apologize and, introspect and move forward. If one knows that there is only one choice, that I have to serve, except service there is no other way to purify the mind, I can run away from it. What is going to happen? Nothing. But if I don't run away from it and I face it and I am there to serve, over a period of time, none of the things will bother. If people are there, not there, I can do whatever I can do to the best of my abilities. Mind is so purified and feels very happy in the sadhana, seva, satsang that one is doing. What an opportunity to purify Bhagavan gave, Gurudev has given. Whole platform has been created. Serve in whichever way you want, but serve. Otherwise one is very comfortable in a shell. I, me and my family, my this, my that, my project, my work, my business, my social life. And as though in that there is no raga and dvesh. Think about that. The raga and dvesh is mainly inside here, in the minds of each one. So even if one is not coming to serve, wherever one is in family, profession, society, their raga dvesh behavior is happening anyway, no? Those are the people who will come here also to serve. यहाँ कौन से पूरे के पूरे दूध के धुले सब आएंगे? What do we expect? 100% sattvic people? Not possible. But highly sattvic people possible. And others will have rajoguna, tamoguna mixture only will be here. So yajna is a bhav of seva, of giving, of purifying my mind, of being connected to Bhagavan. With the deep attitude I have inside, that this is my seva to Bhagavan. Bhagavan only is manifesting as all this. I am serving Bhagavan. No, स्वामी जी हमको माइक लगाना पड़ता है, चेयर लगानी पड़ती है, कौन सा भगवान है उसमें? चेयर लगाओ, जो आ रहे हैं अतिथि वो भगवान ही है. माइक क्यों लगा रहे हो? So that the communication can happen and knowledge can reach the ears of the listener. Whichever work one does, one can connect it to the divine. गुरुदेव जी से मुझे पेपर लिख के पेन लिख के पेपर पे लिखना पड़ रहा है. No. 150 letters a day he wrote. Replying. Why? Because his bhav is, this is my seva to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is manifesting as all this. He is asking a question now. I am replying. He gave lecture and he used to say that the Vyasapit is his, asan. And the hall is the puja room. And the people who have come is the audience. And the talk that he is giving is his praise or his worship of the divine who has come in front. That was his bhav. In one yajna, when his car has to pass through the audience, generally earlier days when open air used to happen, the talks and all that, wherever facility is there the car will come from behind near the stage. Gurudev will get down there, come on the stage. After the talk, get down, go from behind only, the car will go out. So that the audience exit, he doesn't disturb them. One place it didn't happen like that, so his car has to go through the audience when they are exiting. So he lowers the screen, the window pane, and he's saying, Krishna, I am sorry, Krishna, I am sorry, Krishna, I am sorry. So the person who was taking him for bhiksha, he said, Swamiji, why did you do that? He said, they all are Krishna and their mind is lifted in contemplation. They are going in the contemplative mood, and my car going between them and the sound that it is making is disturbing their contemplation. Look at that bhav. That is called yajna bhav, where you see the divine. And then one is serving. And it is not that where he has to discipline somebody, he will not be assertive about it, or sometimes even angry. But that is all issue based, nothing in the heart. And he will apologize also for it. One incident happened like that, where my grandfather, he organized a bhiksha for Gurudev. Those are last few years of his life, Gurudev's life, and he had heart trouble, and around 75 years of age he was. It is not easy for him, because 16% of the heart was working. In that he is giving all the talks and so many things he is doing. So when he came to Chennai and then the talk was there, after the talk Gurudev his bhiksha was organized. When they reached the place, it struck my grandfather, oh God, what have I done? Because there was no lift in that building. And this house is on some 5th floor. And this is evening bhiksha. He was so upset. He said, oh God, what have I done? He didn't come in front of Gurudev only. So Gurudev came there and he saw. He understood that my grandfather has organized his bhiksha. He asked, so they told him. My grandfather and Gurudev have worked together for a long time. He has served Gurudev from the time the mission began in Chennai, 53 onwards. So he said, okay, Tarkas has organized it, chalo. So he walked up 5 floors, went and sat, panting, fired my grandfather like anything, straight. Some 2-3 minutes, royal firing he got. Gurudev, grandfather also accepted his mistake. He did not think through. Then bhiksha got, satsang happened, bhiksha happened, they gave Guru Dakshina, then the prasad Gurudev gave to everybody, all that over. Gurudev went back. So yajna also got over from Chennai, he left. This lady's name is Bharati, in whose house this bhiksha was there. She received a letter from Gurudev. Because Gurudev will write, many times he will write a letter, or with the receipt, when the donation is given, with the receipt he will put some bookmark, some vibhuti of Jagdishwar Mandir and all that he will put and he will send. This is how Gurudev used to be. When he says, giving more than what you take, he lived. Earlier when receipt will come, or letter, either his letter will come or a receipt will come. Any donation you may have given, small amount, big amount, doesn't matter. He will give. Some bhasma, some vibhuti, some kumkum, some bookmark, some small publication, Yajna Prasad Pustika, something he will send, always. So he wrote a letter to Bharti Ben. In that first paragraph only he wrote, I am very sorry, I lost my cool. And then he explained one or two lines, and then he wrote regular whatever else he had to write, thanking them for the Bhiksha and all that. But that is Yajna Bhavana. He didn't justify saying, okay, you didn't bother to see whether there's a lift or not, and so my anger is justified. No, he got upset, he got angry, he fired. Then he apologized also. And his bhav is that I am serving Bhagavan. All this is my worship. And in that, if there is any limitation, this is how, that is called Yajna Bhavana. One place, I'll see if I have that letter, give me 1 minute. I will just read. There was one, one secretary, or one person who was resigning from the post of the secretary. So Gurudev said that is your freedom to resign, but he gave a very nice reply. And then he of course said, it is left to you whether if you want to resign or not. I am just going to read that letter out. Give me a minute. The attitude which one should have as a sadhak, especially when one is serving, and the missionary zeal that Gurudev had, that comes through so beautifully in that letter. I'll post it on the WhatsApp group. I immediately right now it may not be there. Here it is. I'll share it on the screen so you will be able to see. Just see that letter, how he has replied to this mission worker. See this. In one of the earlier classes I have read this out also, one of the earlier chapters also, but doesn't matter, nice revision it is to read again. See, he says to a mission worker writes to Swamiji, I want to resign. Here I can't work. There is so much of opposition from everyone, not only others but our own members oppose every idea I bring out. I am tired. See how Gurudev replies. Swamiji replied, I am extremely sorry for you, and in case you feel like resigning even after reading this letter, you must. It is your right and I give you the freedom to do so, but just you listen. Even if you resign from your duty as a secretary, you will still be in the mission, in the world, and you will have to meet others and live amidst others. Nowhere can you make others stop having another view. In short, constantly we have to meet opposition everywhere at all times. More so when you work among intelligent people. Why then worry? Make use of this occasion to learn better how to live with this problem. Always welcome opposition. It makes a man of you. In a sadhak, there is nothing so beneficial in rubbing off ego and personal vanity than patiently bearing opposition. See that line. This is the bhav. For a sadhak, why am I here? I am here to rub off my ego and personal vanity. Your opinion or scheme may be right or wrong. Invite opposition. Welcome such arguments. They can confirm your own view if it is correct, or you can correct your own view in the light of the discussion. In either way, you will never lose. Look at this. If this bhav I have, na, ki I will never lose, I am here to serve. There is nothing to lose here. There is only something to gain. There is purity of mind. Don't be self-opinionated. Then you will unconsciously close the doors to the changes that can bring wisdom to you. When I am self-opinionated, then this is what will happen. Why throw away valuable opportunities for moving forward towards truth? Capitalize upon the very opposition. What a brilliant line. Capitalize upon the very opposition. So why am I here? I am here for that. To serve is to purify, is to move closer to the truth. And in that there will be ups and downs. How does it matter? Samsara is only with full of ups and downs. What else? So, this is called Yajna Bhav. So, Danam, Damascha, Yajnascha. Then, Swadhyaya, self-study. Swadhyaya here is two things. Study of the scriptures by oneself in a systematic way. One should study. Oneself doesn't mean you don't have a teacher. Meaning, with study under some teacher also. But study apart from that, listening to the teacher, learn by yourself. Put the effort to reflect, make notes, express it creatively so that you understand how much have you understood and how much you have not. So Swadhyay, whichever areas are difficult, spend more time with that, whichever portions feel difficult. Learn the chanting of it. Like that, put in the effort by oneself. That is one meaning of Swadhyay. And this our Shastra says, don't postpone. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Such a nice line in the Taittiriya Upanishad. And before that, more than 20 times it will come. Swadhyaya pravachanecha, ritam cha swadhyaya pravachanecha, satyam cha swadhyaya pravachanecha. Brilliant. When we have not studied our Shastra, that's why our Hindu culture we have fallen like this. And anybody is talking anything and we are also listening to them like dumb fools. And they are making us believe that our culture is superstitious, unscientific, illogical, all that. And so many vested interests are out to destroy us. Shastra, we have to come back to Shastra. And the whole life Gurudev spent is to bring Shastra to people. Make them independent. Make them understand this is your glorious Sanatan Dharma. How many wrong notions are there and people just follow that blindly. Women cannot worship Hanumanji. Who told? But today Pandits only are going on telling everybody. Women should not worship Hanumanji. Okay, pagal log. Why should women not worship Hanumanji? For what? Which Shastra is saying that? Where is it written? Veda is not saying, Purana is not saying. Who is saying this? But they will go on saying it. And create so much of fear amongst the people. हनुमान जी को आप छूना नहीं, क्यों? नहीं, वो ब्रह्मचारी हैं. तो शिव जी also is living in sannyas full time. He is absorbed in the absolute truth. But so many illogical things and so much of fear and control and then grabbing more greed, so grabbing more money from people. That because people also don't question them कि ये कहाँ लिखा है, इसका मतलब क्या है, ये क्यों करना चाहिए. So one has to study the Shastra and live by that. Every great missionary you will see will tell us to do that. Shankaracharya ji writes Sadhana Panchakam. First instruction in Sadhana Panchakam is Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. Study the Vedas daily. So Swadhyay, we should not compromise. We have to open our book and go to the source. Don't depend on anybody else. Otherwise we all, thoda chamatkar some fellows do and then people line laga dete hain wahan pe. For what? Just, there's not even real miracle sometimes, it's all fraud, so many of these. But one is going, because one doesn't want to put that hard work of studying, living. So, one meaning is study the scripture. Live life anchored in scripture, that we saw 16th chapter that we are going to see in 16th chapter end, it will come. Why should I study scripture? To know what is right and wrong. Otherwise we will not know only what is right and wrong. It doesn't depend on my whim and fancy. It depends on what is the time tested wisdom. So Swadhyaya 1 is to study the scripture. Second meaning of Swadhyaya is Swa ka Adhyayan. Study one's own mind. Anchored in the Shastra, observe the mind. Then one will know how to purify it, how to refine it, how to make it single pointed, how to connect to the divine. Mantra also, any mantra people are keeping. Children's names, any name they are keeping. And internet, they'll go and search. This is the name, this is the meaning, dal diya. Arey, how half of them are wrong. So many mantras people chant just like that. Uska koi, there is not a proper mantra also. There is no proper ending in that. There is no, the formation is not proper. But millions of views will be there on some of the mantras. And people also creating by themselves only something. So one has to study, go back to the source, and today there are enough authentic publishers, publications available. One can't say ki pata hai nahi humko. Enough and more proper publication houses who do proper research, who print. How much Gita Press has done such noble service. Chaukhamba is there, Motilal Banarasi Das is there. How many such publication houses are there who print proper our Shastra with full, nice transliteration, translation, word to word meaning, explanation, some of the commentaries. One has to go to that, go to the source. So that is Swadhyaya. Tapa and Arjavam. Tapa is austerity, get out of the comfort zone and live a life of austerity to evolve. And Arjavam is straightforwardness. No manipulation, cunningness, backbiting, gossiping, nothing. Straightforward. Of course, what to tell whom, that is Vivek Shakti. You don't have to tell everything to everybody. But be straightforward. Not playing games, making people, keep guessing and telling something and doing something else. More we will see as we go along. For today we will stop here. Thank all the Yajmans, their families and everyone present here. May Bhagwan help us to cultivate these qualities and drop all attachments, purify the mind and realize oneness with the divine. Om Tat Sat. If there are any questions, we will take up after that Arati. Right now we will just do the Arati.
ओम जय भगवत गीते मैया जय भगवत गीते हरिय कमल विहारिणी सुंदर सुगुनीते ओम जय भगवत गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनी सब विधि सुखकारी। सिखावनी हरि मुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ओम जय भगवती ते दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय हरि पर प्रेम दान कर अपनो कर लीजय ओम जय भगवती ते ओम जय भगवती ते मैया जय भगवती ते हरिया कमल विहारिणी सुंदर सुपुनीते ओम जय भगवती ते ओम जय भगवती ते ओम जय भगवती ते बोलिए गीता मैया की जय
बोलिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Okay, if any questions are there, you can raise your hand. Yes, that letter I will share on the group. All right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om. Thank you everyone.